Welcome back to my channel. This is Russell Does Stuff, and I work 6 hours on Monday till noon. I work 6 hours on Tuesday till noon, Wednesdays if I need it. Then I have Monday afternoons off, Tuesday afternoons off, Wednesdays off, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off to do whatever I like, to work on my Jeeps, to list things on eBay, look on Marketplace and try to find a vehicle that I can add value to. Over the last 2 or 3 years, I've bought over $100,000 worth of vehicles. Some I've restored, some I've just given a bath and kicked down the road. Some I've done full restorations on. And I've profited off of every single one of them except for one. And that's okay, because I did something that's very important when you buy something. When you buy something, you make your money when you buy it, okay? I have to negotiate that price when I buy it to where I'm comfortable, I'm safe, I've locked in a profit. If I don't touch it, I could sell it, break even, or make money. I like to joke around that when I sell stuff, I often lose money. Well, that's just a joke. If I have to break even, I will, okay? What saves my butt is I buy things at a good price. I buy something with what they call meat on the bones, okay? And there is power in numbers. So when I sold 2 Jeeps for less than I bought them for, the rest of the vehicles I bought profited enough to make up for those and then some. I didn't lose money on those 2 Jeeps. Why? Because I learned something. Okay? I learned not to do that ever again. All right? I used this bulletin board right here for the world's greatest sales video last week. This video is about negotiating. Okay? The same steps involved with selling are involved with buying, okay? Before I go look at a vehicle or a piece of equipment or a piece of property or a house, I want to know something about who owns that, okay? You can read descriptions, you can look at Facebook profiles, you can go to LinkedIn and look at profiles, you can get on the internet. There's all sorts of ways of finding out information on the person you're buying something from, okay? You have to go on a fact-finding mission to find out why they're selling that Jeep, that piece of equipment, that truck, etc., okay? My market is specialty stuff. I want to buy and sell four-wheel drive vehicles, period. Why? Because they're unique, people want them, all right? So that's my lane that I try to stay in, okay? I did try to buy a Grand National last year. It was a $65,000 car. I offered the guy $55,000 in cash. Thank God he said no, because he was being dishonest. He did not disclose a lot of things about that car that I later found out about, and that would have put me in a pickle. I would have bought a $25,000 car, but I didn't, okay? So dressing the part when you're negotiating something, when you're trying to buy it, that's important. You know, if you're going out to the country, you know, and you're buying a truck out in the middle of nowhere, most people want to deal with their kind, you know. I'm not going to show up to a negotiation wearing a 3-piece suit unless I'm trying to buy a huge building downtown on Main Street. That's when that's appropriate. So dress appropriate for the situation that you're putting yourself in, okay? When you pull up to the house or wherever you're meeting this person to buy this particular item, the same thing implies. Look around. Is the yard kept? Is there broken tractors everywhere? Does it look like they're moving? You know, if they're moving, that means they need to get this out of here. Then you start writing down on that note paper in your brain, ask them, why you guys moving? You know, why don't you take it with you? And then shut up and listen. They're going to tell you an awful lot about something here in a second. Oh well, we're moving up north and we can't take it with us, and you know, we need the money for the moving truck, and you know, oh, that's terrible. You're going to leave this poor sweet Jeep here. You're not going to take it with you. Oh, I can't, you know, Mr. Russell, because we need the money. We're starting over. Whatever their situation is, you can glean a lot by listening. Okay. Find something in common with them. You know, they're going to have bumper stickers on their cars. They're going to like a certain political leader. Same thing applies to when you're selling something. Okay? Do they like dogs and cats? You know? You want to become that person's friend while you're there negotiating. Okay? Ask them some questions about the product that you want to buy. You know, this is important stuff. How long has it been sitting? Does it leak oil? I just bought an investment that leaks like a water spout. The guy didn't disclose that when I bought it from him. Whatever he did to it, I don't know. But as soon as I got it home, it started leaking. I wasn't happy about it. So when you're not happy about something, it makes you a little grumpy. So I put off crawling underneath there and looking for a few days. And finally I manned up. I grabbed my flashlight and I went out in the garage. I crawled underneath my investment and I looked around with a flashlight. I said, you know, all right, it's leaking a lot. Can I fix this? I hope so. You know, hope floats sometimes, you know, and sometimes hope sinks. Okay? Start asking questions about what you're trying to buy and shut up and listen. Well, it was my grandpappy's Jeep, and you know, it sat for 25 years in the barn, and you know, we ain't touched it in a long time. There's these scales in negotiation. It's tipping in your favor or it's not tipping in your favor. Oh, I just had this service, went through it from top to bottom, you know, put $3,000 into it, and it fires up every time. It runs like a top. Where's that scale going? And it's tilting towards that customer's pocket, not your pocket. Okay? I'm not saying to be ruthless and start tearing down someone else's vehicle or whatever you're buying from them in order to put money in your pocket. I don't work like that, and I don't suggest anybody else does that either. I know people that, oh, this is a piece of junk and I ain't going to pay you more than $500 for it. You're not building a relationship with these people. Every time I buy something, I know exactly who the person I'm buying, what I'm buying from is about, who they are. There's a Jeep over here. These two kids sold it to me. They want to see it when I get it fixed. Okay? I want to know everything about what I'm buying. The good, the bad, and the ugly. All right? Is there anything that I should know about this vehicle? You know? Oh yeah, Mr. Russ, it's, you know, it doesn't stop and it doesn't, you know, hey, you know. Now I got to decide, well, it needs a brake job. What's that cost? Well, Russell's got tools, so Russell's going to fix it himself. You know, pads, shoes, brake kit, you know, a couple $100. All right, I can do that. I'm subtracting that off the price they're asking. Okay? I need to know where I'm at in this negotiation process. Okay? Well, why are you asking $50,000 for this vehicle? and shut up. Well, sometimes they'll tell you an answer and then shut up, listen to them and ask them another question. Well, how do you know it's worth $50,000 and shut up? Let them tell you why they think it's worth $50,000. Most of the time, they don't know anything about the price and where to price something. Okay? Very rare do I come across somebody who knows what the value of what they're trying to sell is. I come across it all the time. There's a lady on Facebook, she's trying to sell a Jeep that was in a flood for $12,000, $13,000. All right. It ain't worth it because I know what the Jeep's worth. She doesn't know. She thinks she's got a bar of gold with 4 tires on it. Now I got to educate her and explain to her that no, she doesn't, and hopefully she doesn't get mad at me when I'm doing it, I have to make sure that this person still likes me, okay? Who makes the decisions? Is it okay, if I make an offer, who's it belong to? Are you just the middleman? You have to go on your fact-finding mission and find out everything that concerns this whole transaction. Does it have a title? Is it signed? Okay. Does your dad know you're selling his vehicle? I've come across all sorts of stuff. Can I make money on that? I've looked that vehicle up. I know what that vehicle is going to cost me to get running. I know what that vehicle is going to sell when I get done with it. Okay? That's all ammunition I have to tilt that scale in my favor. And I'm being nice about it. I'm not being mean. I'm not being insulting or none of that. Okay? When I buy something off of somebody, I want them to be glad and happy that I'm the one they're selling something to. And 9 out of 10, that's the situation. Well, you're going to take good care of it. This Jeep that this camera's sitting on top of right now, I talk to this guy once a week. He sold me this Jeep, me, not anyone else. I sold myself to him, okay? And I'm going to keep my word. I'm going to fix up your baby, and I'm going to get it running and looking nice again. He's already said, are you going to ask me if I'm going to sell it or not? And I said, no, I don't know if I'm going to sell it or not. It's mine. I can do what I want with it, Some people are emotionally attached to things like this guy is. He's happy that this Jeep is with me, so when he's sleeping at night and dreaming, he knows it's with me, okay? I bought a lot of Jeeps. I bought Grandma's Jeep. Grandma couldn't drive no more, so I bought Grandma's Jeep off the kids. They were happy it went to me, that I wasn't going to destroy it, jack it up 20 feet in the air and put mud tires on it, okay? So I'm negotiating with this seller. I need to know where I'm at. If he's not coming along the negotiating path with me, I have to start all over and take him to the back. So when I come up with a number, I'm ready to make you an offer, Mr. Customer. I want to offer you $30,000 for that $50,000 Jeep. And shut up. Watch their reaction. Oh my goodness, I thought we needed more or whatever. Start overcoming their objections. Well, I'm going to have to put 10 grand into it, and this is why. And shut up. Okay? I've gone on my fact-finding mission. Okay? I've thrown a number out. I need to be quiet. I need to listen to what the customer has to say. And if they come back with well, I only can let it go for 45,000. All right, I just got a big swing 5 grand in my way. All right. Well, I don't think I can do that. Well, and then shut up and they'll, well, why not? Sometimes I try to buy something off of somebody and they'll fib. Well, I got an offer yesterday for this amount of money. And I always tell them, where's your phone? Go get your phone right now. Get them on the phone. Make that deal happen. All right. That's great money for that vehicle. Go get that phone and let's get it done right now. Call them out on it, but be nice. 10 out of 10, they're not going and grabbing their phone and calling that imaginary person in their mind up. Okay. I'll hit them back with another number and shut up. Well, I really need to get, now you're getting down to the brass tacks of things. Okay. I bought more vehicles by saying this one sentence. What's your make it go away price? And I shut up and I listen. Okay? They'll shoot me out a number. And if it's, you know, if I'm not taking advantage of them and it's the number I can work with, I'll shake their hand. Or I'll throw out my number. And then we'll meet in the middle somewhere. What's your make it go away price? They're selling it for a reason. They don't like it anymore. They want it gone. They're moving. They've got hundreds of reasons why they put it up for sale. Now, you'll come across once in a while that one guy, and I've run across him, who puts something on the internet for sale, and he does not want to sell it to anybody. All right? And you know what I do? Just like in the sales process here. I get out of there. I say, thank you very much for your time. And the guy says, hell, I'll give you a call and let you know, or if I change my mind, I tell him, don't worry about it. In all due respect, I'm not interested. And get out of there. Leave. Okay? The next thing you want to do when you settle on a price, you need to have the money on you. You need to figure out how you're going to pay for it. Because next day deals are dead deals. Okay? You need to secure that investment with some money. You need to seal the deal. There's no running to the bank. There's no, here's $100, I'll be back tomorrow. No, you come prepared to buy that very moment, that day, that hour. None of this, I'll be back tomorrow, I'll be back next week. No. They'll get another call. They may change their mind. You know, and I've had it happen. You know, I wasn't prepared. Guy said, hey, I got someone with cash coming tomorrow. You know, you learn from your mistakes, and I'm trying to show you guys how to learn from my mistakes so you don't make those mistakes. Buy it. When you make a deal with somebody, buy it. Now, then, right on the spot. I'd like to see the title. Have them get the title. Make sure all the paperwork's correct. Shake their hand, we have a deal. Okay? Give them the money. Make sure you have a plan to transport that vehicle out of their yard. I do not go, well, can I let it stay here for a couple days and I'll be back to get it? I do not do that. Okay? I bring a trailer. Okay? I am confident in my ability to negotiate and purchase things. I bring a trailer with me. When I pull up in front of their house with a trailer, they know I'm a serious buyer. They know that thing that they put on the internet for sale has a great chance of disappearing today. All right? Make your problems my problems. Woo! So, is this guy my friend? During that negotiation, sure, we're friendly, we're friends, you know, we're buddies, but there's this thing called the divorce, and it's what takes place after you buy something for somebody, and most of the time when you sell something to somebody, it's called a divorce, okay? There's nothing else to talk about. Get everything you need, get the title, get the Jeep, get everything, be nice, thank you very much, I'll take good care of it, and leave. Okay, don't hang out for drinks and sandwiches and stuff, all right? You just spent a lot of your energy negotiating, okay? There's not much more you can do or say after you've won a negotiation. Go home. Go to the hotel. Go where you're going back from. Leave. Don't hang out. Don't have a barbecue with them. Okay? These are all my experiences from buying things from people. Now, I've lost money buying things from people. I could have knocked a couple $1,000s off of this investment that I'm going to make a video about. I didn't do enough diligence. I didn't investigate the vehicle like I should have. Okay, I lost focus, and that cost me some money. So I'm going to do a video about that. We're going to see if Russ made a good decision or he made a bad decision. So sales process, just like the negotiation process. The negotiation process, just like the sales process. Know where you're at in the process to make money and not lose money. This is Russell with Russell Does Stuff. If you like this kind of stuff, like and subscribe. If you're just passing through and this isn't your thing, help a stranger out. Hit the subscribe and like button. Come back in a couple weeks. I'll have more videos. Maybe you'll see something you like. Maybe you'll learn something. Maybe you comment in the comment section. Maybe I'll learn something. I don't know everything, but these are just the things I'm sharing with everybody that has worked for me. These are some of the things that I've learned from others. I've made them my own, and I've applied it to the situations in my life. Okay. There's a guy that lives up the road from me, and I don't want to take him with me when I go to negotiate. Okay. He's hardcore. He's ruthless. Okay. He'll spend 7 hours fine combing over something, you know, and he doesn't use, you know, very tactful language when he's describing someone else's stuff, you know. So find your approach, practice it, think about it, be prepared when you show up to negotiate something. Always be prepared, okay? Practice on the public, all right? You may not get it that time. There's tons of other opportunities out there. I don't get every deal I go out to try to buy. Sometimes it ain't there. Sometimes the customer's dreaming. Okay, you get out of there, you get on to your next one. So this is Russell with Russell Does Stuff, and thank you.